Alright, 6:25 on the 24th. Sunrise, oops. Alright. So, I've got a bicycle, but it doesn't work on electrics. So, anyway, we did our best last night. Ain't gonna happen. I think we're out of options, so. It makes my head hurt. What are you gonna do? So, first thing this morning, I'm gonna sort all my stuff and get the tools put away. I just didn't feel like doing it last night in the dark. Get things kind of figured out a little bit, and then roll out of here before 11. Yep, more on that later.
Well, there's more than one way to do this, I guess. Lots of room. I was a little bit worried, but when I completely unloaded the trailer, I basically could just pick it up. I mean, not even scooch it, just pick it up right by the top and lift it in here. So that went pretty well. And then just all the gears in the back. Plenty of room, though. I thought I was going to take it apart and everything, but I'm like, well, shoot. This makes it a little easier. Yeah, all right. It is what it is, right? So I'm going to take this all the way to my dad's house and then go from there. I'm not sure how much I'll probably shoot a little bit of video while we're driving. The funny part was I had to bicycle from here to Medford, which ended up being 20 miles door to door pretty much. So I'm on the south end of Ashford. I had to go to the north end of Medford. Took a bike trail all the way. That actually worked out really nice. So that was cool. Yeah, so I got the van, and with the military discount, I think is what we got. Then I was able to afford it with all the money that had come in. So thanks to my mom and my dad. Yeah, anyway. Gonna have to start getting my act together here, I guess. The running joke was, if I hit anything, try to hit the dents that are already here. Yeah, perfect. All right, yippee-ki-yay. Okay, I promise I won't do this very much, but the experience is a little different than I'm used to. I used to have an Astro van with a bulkhead like this. This just brings me back. That was rattling a lot, so when I put the bike in there, I hooked a bungee to the door and it just quieted it right down, so yay for that. So it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I had to ride the bicycle 20 miles to go get the van, and then drive the van all the way back to the campsite, which was easier, and then load up the trailer in the back, which went pretty well actually. Once I just unloaded everything from the trailer, and then the trailer itself doesn't weigh hardly anything, so there's something to think about. Yeah, anyway, so it's all loaded up and we're ready to go. I got a full tank of gas, good for about 350 miles, so I should drive about a few hours before I need to worry about gas. So anyway, let me focus on driving and we'll get there eventually. I don't know, it's growing on me. Doesn't feel quite the same though. I just realized I still got my biking shorts underneath my other shorts. Thought we could take those off. Alright, we are near Crater Lake now. I honestly haven't planned this part out very much. We're coming in from the south side. Somewhere around here, I think, right now. Yeah, anyway, yeah, we came in 62, and then, anyway, that's where we're going. Probably, actually, I told GPS just to get me to here, and then I'll tell it to get me to Wenatchee, so I'll see what it does. I think we'll probably go around and then go out and then angle over towards Highway 97, which is off this map somewhere. Yeah. I just figured, hey, you know what? Since I have something to drive, let me go up the really big hill. Because if I did this on the bike, it was like, well, it's like 6,500 foot crossing this range. So let's take advantage of the fact that we can burn a little gas and get somewhere. Yeah. It's nice. Alright, take a whiz, and then I just remembered I had some sandwiches I made this morning. I might as well eat them, and then we can cruise on out of here. Alright, we can hear a waterfalls. Probably not the best viewing point here. Alright, to summarize, there's the falls down there. Not easy access from here, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on this one, so Angie Falls, I think, or Annie Falls. So we'll maybe check it out another time. I think there's an expectation if there's a turnout, there must be something to see. Also, there is a significant amount of snow in the shadows of the trees. It's quite warm in here, but the sun never really hits that, I guess. Take it a while to melt. Alright, so what's it say? Fossilized stream. Eruption buries a river valley. First, a glowing avalanche of gas-rich pumice flows down Mount Mazama slopes during the cataclysmic eruptions, burying a river valley. And then the water escapes, and then out of the ashes, the erosion carves away the softer ash, exposing these mysterious formations. Okay, that's kind of cool. So there was a valley, and then there was a volcano, and then eventually the water washed away the ash. And there is a stream down at the very bottom down there. This is what feeds into that waterfall we saw earlier. Kind of saw, almost saw. Okay, kind of cool. Maybe not worth stopping for, but still nice. Forward and onward. Yeah, I had no idea this was such a touristy place. I don't know. Never thought about it. $30 National Parks pass to get in. Good for 7 days. Yeah. If I ever think this through a little more, I got to get that annual pass. It would pay for itself in about 3 of these places. So, but I usually don't have $100 that day either. So, and of course there's a gift shop. Not going there. A couple guys on bikes. Yeah, bike admission was about half price, so $15. But like I often say on this trip, now I don't have to come back here. Think of the time we'll save. One thing I was trying to get through my head when I was driving up here, which side of the lake do I want to be on? We got the sun to our back, so that's good. I was concerned I would be shooting into the sun. Information sign, not interested. Snow, also not interested. Yeah, that's a lot of snow. Yikes. Oh, that is pretty cool.
That's right. If they cleared the way, you could tube all the way down. Yeah, but like...
Okay, let's get out of here. Kind of like Lake Louise and the Grand Canyon and all that. If you had time to explore and go hiking and get away from the parking lot, this would be pretty spectacular. But today we don't. Press on. Pretty cool building, so. This reminds me a lot of the Grand Canyon, actually. Go away from the parking lot and you get better shots. And if you look down, that water is incredibly blue and clear looking. That's amazing. Up a little trail. Yeah, it's a bit frustrating. You know you'd like to stay, but I don't know if I can get to it. There's an island, if you can get the right view. This might be okay. Behind the trees. Island, and there's almost a land bridge going across. If the water went down, you could probably walk out there. Alright, now we can go. Alright, about 7:30 p.m. and Walmart. Okay, I'm pushing a headwind today. It's never good. I mean, it's not like I'm pedaling any harder, but I am actually trying to soft pedal on this thing. For what the van is costing, I sure don't want to spend the rest of my money on gas. Yeah, anyway. Grab some survival food and hit the road again. Alright, about halfway through Oregon. There was just enough room to set this up. I had to set the cot up outside and then slide it in and bump the bike a couple times. But we got it. So sleep like a king back here. Yeah. Anyway, that one's the sleeping bag, and I got the foam roll up there. Good thing is, in the morning I don't have to roll it all up again. Oh, come on. Oh. I just assumed the light would stay on for a second. Hang on. Okay, that's a little bit better. I put the Lucy light where I could find it almost. Just had to turn on the cell phone flashlight for a second. There we go. Home sweet home. Alright, I'm going to get set up. I think I'm going to see if I can edit some video real quick before I go to bed. At least get it ready to upload in the morning. Yeah. Good day though. Well, it's good enough for now. Alright, yeah. I don't know, this is one of those things that I remember somebody talking about one time that kind of made sense. So if you think you want to do van life, before you go spend, $80,000 on a conversion van, which is a thing, apparently. Not in my world, but I've heard variations of this. But go get a van, or go rent a van like this one, and go try out the idea for a while. And like literally, I mean, I got my army cot in here. I would set it up a little different if I was doing this for actual camping, but yeah, you could set it up all with temporary stuff, maybe some bungees or something like that. Go camping for a week or two, and then turn the van in and make notes of how you use things, right? Because you see people do these really elaborate, building custom cabinetry and stuff like that. And I've seen several people that I can think of that built a really nice shower inside their van, and it always ended up being storage. They very seldom used it as the shower, because it was like, oh, there's 2 foot by 2 foot of usable space that you could put things in, whereas they very seldom actually used it as the shower. So just something to think about. But yeah, when I had the Astro van, I had picked up an old futon mattress from somewhere, and I just threw it in the back of the van. And when I was coming back from doing weddings or something like that, a lot of times I'd just be like, okay, I'm going to pull off the road and throw, just jump in the back and take a nap, and next morning wake up and drive home. Nothing to it, It doesn't have to be all fancy. I do got to say though, these high roofs are nice. This is a Ford cargo van. It's the same design as the ProMaster or the Sprinter. I don't know if they're exactly the same, but they're very similar. I think they do share common designs between like Mercedes and Dodge ProMasters and the Fords, and Freightliner has some. There's a whole bunch of them, and they all look like they're basically cookie cutter designs. So I'm not sure how close they actually are, but they're very similar. Anyway, so this is the high top. It is nice. I did notice it though in the wind today. It was really gusting, and it did blow me around because I'm really lightweight right now. There's not very much weight back here for a van. It's a lot for a bicycle. But I think, me personally, this is more room that I would want. Because I'm a lot more interested in efficiency. And I think I would do a ProMaster City or the little Ford cargo van. I forget what they call it now, but there's a little micro van, smaller than the Astro van. And I'm not the kind of person that would be sitting there chopping onions and then cooking them, while standing up in the van. It's not likely to happen. I would more likely open up a can of soup while I'm sitting in the driver's seat, and then just sleep in the back, and have a little desk for my laptop so I could do these videos. That would be alright. But this is alright. This was okay. And I figured, I'd take advantage of it. It's like, well, my thought was I could probably push through to my dad's house, but I'm feeling it because I'm not used to, I haven't driven anything in a couple of years, with a couple of, little exceptions. I hardly ever drive anymore since, I don't have a truck. So, yeah, it's kind of a funny thought. So, and when I'm on the bike, I get off the road by 5 almost always, because the sun is starting to, the sun, like tonight, the sun was setting at like almost 9 o'clock. As I'm getting further north, I'm seeing a lot more twilight too. That's kind of interesting. But on the solar bike, there's no reason to ride past 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. If you get a decent start in the morning, you can do 6 hours, and that's really all you want to do anyway. So, yeah, why make it difficult on yourself? So, yeah. Yeah, it was just kind of neat. It's like, okay, I can do this again. It's like, I was laughing. I'm driving down the road, and I'm like, this is just like riding a bike. It's like the expression is like, oh, you don't forget how to ride a bike. And I'm like, I've been riding a bike so much, I don't forget how to drive though. I just thought that was hilarious. Probably all in my head, but anyway. Yeah, I was actually thinking, I didn't think I'd had enough room in here, because I've got the solar panel bike over there, and and all my stuff in the back. I didn't really think I could get the bed in here. It's actually really close, but it's like, it's good enough. So I was more thinking, okay, I'm gonna have to put the bed outside. I didn't want to put the bike outside, get it stolen. But I figured if I slept outside, that would be okay. And it's windy outside and kind of cold, so I thought, well, maybe I could make this work. So I kind of squeezed things in here a little bit. I think it'll be okay. I just realized that the front of the van is pointed down, so I'm gonna sleep with my head to the other end. But that's easy to fix. Yeah. I'd be very confused to wake up in the army cot, but inside at the same time. That'll be weird. I should probably figure out how to open this door from the inside before I get too happy with myself here. I can't get out the side door. That'll be hilarious. There must be a way. I'll figure it out. If not, send Lassie. Anyway, that's it for now. Oh, I was going to do the recap. So up until last night, I was still trying to fix the bike, and it was a no-go. And I was going through this constant loop of how can I do this, because the van idea was more expensive than I could afford. And I had sent a message to my dad, and then I got no response for a couple of days. So then I'm like, oh, that's not good, you know. And it turned out he was out of town and didn't have cell phone reception either. So that's, you know, I can understand that since that happens to me all the time. So I was like, okay, the van was a no-go. But then I got to thinking, it's like, what about if I took the van halfway? Then it's closer than nothing. Okay. And I was kind of picturing getting over the big pass, like basically going from the coast towards Klamath Falls, dropping off the bike and the trailer, or dropping off the trailer with all the heavy stuff, hauling the bike back, dropping the van off, because one way is more expensive. So I thought, okay, that would make sense. Get the heaviest stuff across the hill and then come back and then pedal the bike empty across the hill. That's about the best I could think of. And finally my dad decided he was going to chip in and help. So then it turned out there was no U-Haul vans available, or trucks. So I expanded the search and found budget, and with the military discount, and then they were going to give me a bigger truck, and that wasn't available. So then I got this van instead, which I preferred, and got a one-way. Oh, and then my dad says, hey, your stepbrother Roland is going to be in Portland at the racetrack. I guess he was racing. He used to race go-karts and stock cars a long time ago. I guess he got back into it. I don't know. I should keep track of my family more, I guess. Anyway, so he's going to be at Portland, I guess, International Raceway. And so that was one idea, is it would be a lot less expensive for me to get to Portland. And then I could, you know, hang out with them at the racetrack and then catch a ride home, because they got the race car in a trailer, I guess. So I was like, okay, I could take my trailer apart and stuff it in between race car parts. That would be fine, you know. And then it was 3 people and 3 dogs in a crew cab. I'm like, okay, that would be better than nothing. And then I started running the numbers and realized that I could do basically the same cost going all the way to my dad's house, except I have to drop off the van towards Seattle, was the closest drop-off point. But then this way I could drop off all the stuff at his house and then drive to near Seattle. I think it was Issaquah. And there's a shuttle bus that runs between Seattle and Wenatchee once or twice a day. So I'm like, okay, that's a few bucks. It's cheaper than, you know, somebody driving over to get me. So, or there's Amtrak. I've done Amtrak from Seattle. It's kind of a neat ride. So just for a change, it's cheaper than driving. So yeah, we got options. We'll figure it out. But I figure once I'm there, probably my dad will drive over and get me. It's closer than, you know, south side of Oregon. So yeah. Anyway, that'd be that. It's gonna be nice and warm in here. I'm used to freezing. This is great. All right, that's it for now. The adventure continues. And for anybody keeping track, I did ride to Ashland in Oregon, so that's a few miles. And then I rode from the campsite. I went 20 miles to pick up the van. So, I mean, it's not like I rode a lot of Oregon, but I did ride in Oregon, so that still counts. And when I get to my dad's and get the new parts on the bike, then leaving Washington, I will ride out of Washington, so that'll count for riding in Washington. And either way, I'll end up catching a corner of Idaho, and I'm going to try to do it so I catch at least a corner of Montana, and then I'll probably hit Wyoming and then cut down. That way all those states are done. And if nothing else, this is assuming I don't continue the whole 22 states. If I do that, then the next year I'll do a central state tour, and then probably the eastern states the third year. And in the meantime, I'll work on funding. Yeah, anyway, so that's the plan, subject to rapid change. As always, thanks for following the adventure, and thanks to all the people that are supporting and helping. This is getting kind of crazy how it's turning out, but anyway, stay tuned. More adventures coming. Bye for now.